All right, markets not on markets' mind. It's Delhi on markets' mind to be sure. What's the cabinet going to look like? We've got three people joining us on this issue. Rajdeep Sardesai, editor-in-chief of CNN, IBN and Network 18 is with us, as are of course Mr. Adi Godrej and Sunil Jain. Rajdeep, first to you. CNN and IBN flashed a list of names. Have you all actually taken a look at the list that went to the president?
I don't think we've actually taken a look at the list that's gone to the president, but we managed to get in touch with a number of people who have got a call up from Mr. Modi, who is personally ringing up individuals to tell them that they are part of the ministry. Plus, through our sources, we have got a sense of what the key portfolios will be. So, what we are being told, Lata, is that Arun Jaitley, as has been speculated, is almost certainly going to get finance. We are being told that Sushma Swaraj is the front runner for Ministry of External Affairs, and Rajnath Singh is the front runner for the Home Ministry. Still no clarity on who will get the Defence Ministry, but these are the four big portfolios that people look at. The other key members are Nitin Gadkari, who is apparently getting an expanded and merged transport ministry that will include surface transport and railways. We are being also told that the other key ministers will include Ravi Shankar Prasad, likely to get information and broadcasting along with law. Piyush Goyal's name is doing the rounds as a front runner, possibly for the Commerce Ministry, although there is no, these are all, the ministries are in the realm of speculation, but this is what we are gathering from sources. Dr. Harshvardhan is likely to get the Health Ministry. We are being told HRD could go to Kalraj Mishra. So a sense is being got of the kind of ministry. The other ministers who've been called up, other members called up, Gopinath Munde, Nirmala Sitharaman, Anant Kumar, General V.K. Singh. He has been given a call up this morning. Najma Heptullah, the former Congress leader, now with the BJP, she has got a call up. She will be the Muslim face, if you will, within this government. So there's a sense of about at least the 20-25 people who already got call ups. We're expecting about 40 to 45 people to be inducted today. From the allies, the TDP is getting a cabinet rank ministry. Ashok Gajapati Raju. We are being told from the Shiv Sena, Anand Gite, their leader in the Lok Sabha, is getting a cabinet rank, and Ram Vilas Paswan and Upendra Kushwaha, the two Bihar allies, are also getting cabinet rank. So that's the sense that we are getting. Obviously, the exact ministries only will be known later in the day. The key ministries, though, are some of the ones that I mentioned just now, Lata.
Sonia? Okay, just one question. Therefore, you're not seeing the MEA getting merged with the Commerce Ministry. That was one buzz, wasn't it?
Yeah, there are there's a lot of buzz, but remember, as I said, as far as ministries go, we will get a final idea only later. There is even talk of merging some of the energy ministries together, and whether petroleum will be kept out of it and only coal and power will be merged along with non-conventional energy resources. These are all questions that will, I think, be resolved only after we get the final list in terms of the portfolios. But the sense one is getting that yes, Mr. Modi is keen on at least sending out a signal that it is a smaller government than previous governments. But at the same time, there is an element of accommodation also that is being done, keeping in mind that many of the leaders who are being called up have been party veterans, the likes of Naidu, Kalraj Mishra, and the idea is also to ensure some amount of regional representation. So some of the compulsions of a cabinet formation cannot be ignored, and I don't think Mr. Modi is above them also. Okay. But I think there is a serious attempt being made to, wherever possible, try and send out the sense that the government is being downsized. And one interesting name I thought was Nirmala Sitharaman, because she's not in the Lok Sabha, she's not in the Rajya Sabha, but the very fact that Mr. Modi is inducting her is to send out a signal. I think that he's looking for people who have a reputation for being hardworking, for being the individuals who can be expected to seriously contribute to the ministries. So that is a good sign in a way that has been done by the Prime Minister designate.
Okay, thanks a lot for all that, Rajdeep. But we have two guests, and I just want to ask them if they have any more clarifications to seek from you, Mr. Godrej. Anything more you want from Rajdeep?
No, nothing really.
All right, Sunil.
No, I'm
all right, that's an exhaustive.
My view, not to ask questions.
Okay. Yes, that's right. Thanks a lot, Rajdeep, for joining us with all those details. Okay, Mr. Godrej, first your thoughts. Arun Jaitley as Finance Minister, how would India Inc. receive that news?
Well, I think that would be received well. I think that's been talked about a lot over the last few days, so I think it would be received very well. There have been other names being mentioned also, so we'll wait and watch. It's no use speculating who's going to take what when we're going to find out this evening.
Sonia?
Okay. Sunil, hi. Come in on that point. I mean, it seems like Arun Jaitley's chances of getting the finance minister's portfolio has not been diminished because of the election loss. What would your view be if indeed he becomes the finance minister?
It's now pretty much certain that he will be the finance minister. If you look at, the only other contender for that job was Arun Shourie. And given the fact that Arun Shourie's name is not on that list, it seems to be likely that he's going to be, either he's not going to be part of the government at all, or he'll be the deputy chairman of the planning commission or some kind of an advisor to the prime minister. So with Arun Jaitley out of the way, with Arun Shourie out of the way, it's very clear that Jaitley is the prime contender, and I'd say the only contender for that job, frankly. There are lots of surprises in this, apart from, Arun Shourie's name not being there. I think Suresh Prabhu was somebody that people looking at coming to the power ministry because of his experience in the power ministry. I think that's a bit of a shock. I think the fact that there are no Gujarat either ministers or we don't know who the principal secretary and people like that will be. But if it is Nripendra Mishra, it will come as a bit of a surprise because people are looking at somebody from Gujarat coming as a principal secretary. So I think those are a few sort of surprises to my mind.
Mr. Godrej, hi, good morning. Just to talk about Arun Jaitley a little more, the last time he had spoken to the press, he indicated that, we can't afford to have high interest rates, which continues to lead to sluggish growth, etc. So it seems like the growth issue will be targeted first. And if yes, then a lot of these interest rate sensitive sectors like autos, industrials, etc. could see a pickup. Would you concur with that view?
Yes, I think clearly, obviously, if you have to concentrate on one strong objective, it should be growth. Interest rates are very important for growth, and inflation can be tackled separately. I think inflation has little to do with interest rates. You cannot solve India's inflation problems by high interest rates because a lot of our inflation is due to international commodity prices and fruit and vegetable prices in India. So I think it's better to concentrate on GDP growth and tackle inflation through supply chain initiatives and other factors separately. I think one could get GDP growth growing very quickly with the right policies, right stimulants, and then tackle inflation, and in 3 to 6 months you can bring inflation down too.
Okay, actually I wanted to continue that theme and get Sunil also in this issue. Rajan, if you look at the Urjit Patel report, has been laying a whole lot of store on getting the fiscal deficit under control and therefore monetary policy being helped by fiscal policy to bring down inflation. He has put his cards on the table as far as inflation is concerned as enemy number one. Sunil, is there a potential here if I don't know how much Mr. Jaitley will insist on lowering rates, but is there a face-off that is possible?
Well, let's put it this way. To begin with, I think there is always tension between the finance minister and the RBI governor. We saw it when Mr. Subba Rao was there and Mr. Chidambaram was there. We saw a big face-off. We found Mr. Chidambaram speaking a lot less when Raghuram Rajan was the governor, but there was friction out there in terms of the policies. But I agree with Mr. Godrej in terms of the fact, and I think the governor himself has said this, that interest rates alone can't resolve the problem. But that said, the question is that the finance ministry needs to do a lot of heavy lifting itself. So I don't see an Arun Jaitley, for example, when he comes in, having a face-off with the governor saying that you have to, lower interest rates. Plus, I'm not even certain, to be honest, whether lowering interest rates to this point is going to stimulate demand the way that Mr. Godrej is saying it is. We had excise duty cut, which did precious little to automobile demand, for example. So I think, Arun Jaitley's first task, if we can presume to tell him what to do, would be tackling, for example, what we call the tax terror part, 2.5 to 3 lakh crores worth of transfer pricing adjustments given to MNCs. I think that will be, sort of number one on his agenda. I think one of the big things, whether or not the finance minister decides to cut subsidies or not, one of the first things will be, removing that FCI problem. If you just get FCI to stop open procurement, you can save 60-70,000 crore rupees immediately from the finance ministry's budget every year. So that's what you were talking about, Lata, that the finance ministry, fiscal policy needs to give some room for monetary policy. I think that's sort of, I would say agenda number 1 and 2 on the finance minister's budget. I would be very surprised if they got into a slanging match
Okay.
at this point so early in the game.